What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Game On Improve Your Health podcast. My name is Austin J, or hallucinodream if you know me from the gaming community, and I'm your host for this podcast. Joining me tonight is a very special guest, a longtime friend, good buddy. He is a prodigy Formula One player. He is a graphic designer, and of course, he is an advisor here at 1PUNCH, Rohan Bhangui. Thank you for joining us tonight, and welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Austin.
Absolutely. Now, you're an advisor here at 1PUNCH, right? So we're going to get into all that stuff, but let's do a quick introduction of who we are. We're going to go over a little bit for people who might not know our health and wellness backgrounds and a little bit about our gaming background. Now, when did you start a health and wellness routine, and when did you realize that health and wellness was something you really need to pay attention to and is very beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, I played sports from a very early age, so health and wellness was like super important to have top performance. I used to play soccer, competitive soccer when I was younger, and it sort of carried with me as I grew older. While I left the competitive sports side, I sort of really benefited from working on bringing in those health and wellness aspects and using that to my advantage to help me with respect to when I was gaming and things like that, and in my daily life as well with respect to my day job. So that's basically my stories with health and wellness and how it's carried.
And what kind of gaming background do you have? Have you how long have you been playing video games? If you remember, what was your first video game, and what kind of competitive background do you have, if any?
So I've been playing video games for now, I think about 10, 12 years now it's been since I picked up my first video game. Video game, believe it or not, and a lot of people might be fans of this. First video game was actually Crisis.
Crisis? Wow,
Yeah,
you
I
started
remember.
late.
Yeah, I started late. That was the first game I remember playing like physically and being at least decent at. Because I think that I was playing 1.6 a little bit around that time, so I was just picking it up. It was mostly my brother's influence that got me into computers and to the gaming side of things. These days, I mean, I play maybe a little bit of Modern Warfare, a little bit casually. A little bit more serious on the racers. Could probably hold my own in a little bit of Mario Kart. But I'm playing a mixture of arcade-based and realistic sims, so a little bit of Formula One 2020 and Forza Motorsports and that sort of thing. So just mostly in the racing genre now.
Fast and Furious. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of those wheels that you actually steer, and the 4 or 5 pedals?
Oh no, I want one badly, but girlfriend won't let me have them, so gotta wait a little bit longer.
You just have to hide it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all.
I think the Amazon purchases will show.
Yeah, you just have to hide it better than that.
That's
Put
true.
blankets over it, even when you're
It works.
using it. Just be like, this is it's just a big mouse. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty so that's pretty good. Staying conscious of your health and wellness since you said you were playing sports in what, high school, and I mean you were probably playing sports before that. But then your gaming background also is pretty extensive, 10 to 12 years, starting with a Crisis, a little later than some of us. But now, have you noticed that any of that has carried over into your gaming performance at all? Any of the health and wellness routines that you do? Have you noticed that some days maybe your health and wellness, I mean your gaming performance might be suffering if you aren't paying attention to your health some days?
Um, yeah, with respect to the health and wellness aspects, I think, as I said before, like I've brought a lot of those things when I was younger and stuff, playing competitive soccer. And I find that those things do help me on a day-to-day basis, not just in gaming aspects, but just keeping some sort of rhythm or some sort of cadence. And I think that's like a huge component of how I operate on a daily basis, whether it's work or gaming in the evening. I think it all has to do with finding that schedule and finding that groove and getting your body into that zone of you know, I should expect this from my day. And I'm not saying that, like for myself, it's not like, I eat healthy all the time. I think your body needs a little bit of a break, but I think that you need to give it something staple to run on. Um, I don't think either of us are at that young age where we can pop a bunch of sugar and just run through the entire night and play, all through the night, and all nighter, and play, sleep at 7 a.m.
Speak for yourself. I of course can still do that. Yes, that is very. Everything you just said is absolutely correct.
So 24-hour stream coming in the near future.
Two 24-hour streams back to back. I'm gonna host the
Okay.
first 24 hours. You're gonna do the second.
All right.
Sugar, sugar, sugar. We'll be sponsored by Sour Patch Kids when we're done. So that's a little bit about your background. Now I'm just gonna brief over a little bit about my background. I did a little bit in health and wellness on the first episode. If you haven't caught that episode, you can catch that. It's on our podcast, on our YouTube. Little bit about my actual health and wellness routine. I started in 2017 when I realized I really needed to change something. Get into all that in another episode. I'll go into full detail about mine. But I started with lifting, and I started with a partner. I feel like having a partner was very beneficial to starting a routine, because then you're accountable. You're being held accountable. You have somebody that is pushing you, and you're doing the same for them. And then I started working on my nutrition. Then I found what Spartan races are. If you don't know what those are, you can look them up. Pretty tough. Became instantly obsessed. That just drove my health and wellness, health and fitness journey through the roof. Now I am absolutely health driven, and that's exactly why I started One Punch. And my gaming, I started. Man, I don't even know what age I was. I couldn't even tell you what the first game I played was, but I know one of the earliest games I ever played was Pokemon, that's for sure. And then I played competitively since 11. That's a long time, with Counter-Strike, which you may have briefed on, and still to this day one of the greatest games ever created. And I can tell you firsthand that many years ago when I played competitive Counter-Strike, if I knew what I know now in regards to health and wellness and the benefits it has on gaming performance, I 100% would have went pro, guaranteed. Could have made a pro team, but you live and you learn, and here we are. But that's a little introduction on me and Rohan, and I think we should get into One Punch. Now, people might be confused on why I've been asking all these questions in regards to health and wellness and how it's tying into gaming. Well, that's exactly what One Punch was designed for. I started One Punch to bridge the gap between the health and wellness and the gaming communities. The gaming community, I would say it's not 100% up to par with health and wellness and understanding, why it's beneficial. Not only for your gaming performance, but just your health in general and your longevity and really just everything. And we're just, what we want to do here at One Punch is to educate and of course entertain. That's where the live portion comes from. We want to educate and entertain, but we want to educate in regards to fitness routines, nutrition routine, being conscious of your nutrition habits and why that's beneficial not only to day-to-day life but for your gaming performance. For those young kids out there who might not be given that information and might not really understand the fact that all these pro gamers actually have registered dietitians, nutritionists, they have personal trainers, you name it. They have those on staff helping them out to make sure that their health is up to par, because if your health's not up to par, your game unfortunately is not going to be up to par. And if your health's not up to par in regards to just the average life, the regular day in and day out life, your cognitive performance is going to suffer. Maybe your work habits going to suffer. Everything ties into your health and wellness.
I think that's definitely true, and I think that it's good for the audience to know and the listeners to know that it doesn't take to pay a nutritionist or another fitness advisor and all these things to get that health and wellness that you need out of your life to maximize what you're doing. There's simple stuff that you can do in your day-to-day life to basically accomplish those things.
Absolutely, and that's what we want to do here at One Punch as well. Is I completely understand firsthand. I tried working out and starting a fitness routine. I've also tried starting my nutrition routine and my my nutritional habit change. I've tried that several times and failed before I started, and it stuck in 2017. And I understand how difficult it could be to start, and that's another thing we want to do is to educate and to try to, you know, make it easier for people to start and maintain those habits. And it's a behavioral change, and it's going to be hard, but it's not as hard as everybody might really think it is. So that's one of the things we really want to try to accomplish here with One Punch, by you know, bringing that information to the table for the general public and the gamers. Now, with that, if you have anything else you want to say in regards to that, if not, we're gonna jump into, you know, what we plan to do here at One Punch in regards to the content.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Okay, so what we want to do here, we're gonna at One Punch we're gonna have this podcast. So we're gonna host this podcast live. If you are watching live, thank you for tuning in. If you are listening on the podcast platforms, which as of right now, as of this episode, we have it on Apple and Spotify, and Google is pending. So pretty happy about that. If you're listening on those, I completely just lost my train of thought for some reason. Anyways, this is live, and then it'll be on the podcast. So we're going to have a podcast. This podcast is going to go over health and wellness routines, you know, nutrition. We're going to go over mental health, everything in regards to a health and wellness routine, and how you can, you know, maybe start one, maintain one. We're going to have a variety of topics, and hopefully a variety of guests. And we're going to do that every other week. The schedule is posted. I think I posted it in the first episode as well. I'll put it in the description here as well. I'm not even going to go over the schedule again, but we're going to have a podcast. We have a website. We have social media. We're going to be providing content on the social media as well. Quick, brief, you know, tips on what you can do in regards to health and wellness, what you can do for fitness, workouts, quick workouts. A lot of people are stuck at home right now, so we're going to be giving at-home workouts on social media as well as YouTube. We're going to be doing some nutrition. We'll be doing some nutrition content on all of the above as well, and you know, we're gonna expand. We really want to, like I said, really want to educate. So all the platforms we have is really just to help educate, and we're going to tie all of that information in and tie it into how it can improve your gamer performance as well. We really want to target the gamers. We really want to target the young generation. We really want to target the people who might be suffering from mental health issues as well. We want to try to, you know, hit everything at once. So we're going to be doing charity events. The charity of choice is actually going to be, I will be posting that on social media very shortly. I do think I picked the charity that I'm going to go with. We're going to be doing charity events for that, probably through streaming, like you joke about a 24-hour stream, but eventually we're going to get to that point. 24-hour charity stream hosted by you, 24 hours. Good luck. And we're going to have blog posts that tie into everything. We're going to have the stream schedule. So, sorry, I hit the microphone. On top of the podcast, we're going to have a stream schedule for entertainment. So we're going to have, you know, in the future, not right this second, but in the future, we're going to have gamers who actually have health and wellness routines and, you know, nutrition habits and all this. They're going to be playing and streaming games and going over their health and wellness routines and educating you in regards to that on the One Punch channel, here on Twitch and on YouTube. And then, you know, we also have a Discord where we can have anybody can come in and chat with us, anybody who's in there. It's a public Discord, of course, and, you know, ask questions. We're always open to questions, and, you know, just get any kind of help that they want in regards to, like I said, health and wellness routines are hard to start, so, and even harder to maintain. So any questions anybody has, we are here to answer your questions. So that's I mean, you know more, you know just as much as I do on it. Did I miss anything that we are trying to do here?
No, I think you summed it up with all those things. Again, it's that I think the main idea, again, repeating it, is blending the health and wellness aspects with gaming and showing that one can help the other benefit you, just not in gaming, but in daily life as well, which is super key. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So that's what One Punch is all about, and that's what that is our mission, that is our goal. We are gonna bridge the gap between the health and wellness community and the gaming community, and we're gonna bring educational content. We're gonna bring entertainment, and we're gonna increase our health. So if you if you're all set, then we can wrap it up here. And
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, we can definitely wrap it up. I think in the coming weeks it'll be a good idea, and for the audiences, if you definitely have any particular questions that you want us to answer, gaming or non-gaming related, definitely ask those and post them on the One Punch social media. We'll have those links to the social media in the description, for the podcast, and on YouTube in the description there, and on Twitch as well. We'll have a replay on Twitch, hopefully, that people can catch the video live stream.
yep,
And
absolutely.
if you have any questions, we're always looking to answer those questions on our next stream. And yeah, and definitely out for our social media in terms of additional content that we're posting. Because in between the streams, we'll have additional maybe 1-2 minute sort of blurbs, and in terms of things that we've learned and things that we're picking up, and things that we can sort of tell you guys about to show you different aspects of things that we've learned.
Absolutely. I learn something new every day, so I can teach you a lot. That being, yeah, on top of what Rohan said, you can ask questions on all the social media. If you're watching live on Twitch or YouTube, which I know, unfortunately, I'm not on we're not on YouTube live right this second, but you can always ask questions there during the podcast. We will not be answering them, but after the second week is where we will answer the questions. So we'll always do, after our episodes, we always do a follow up and a question and answer. So, and we'll get to all the questions that come in through social media, through what was in the chat on both platforms, through YouTube, and any other questions we might get DM'd or anything of the sort. So, don't hesitate to ask questions. That being said, we're going to wrap up tonight's episode. And I appreciate you joining again, Rohan. Thank you very much.
Not a problem at all.
That was the introduction of One Punch, who we are, where we want to go. It's going to be a lot of exciting announcements coming up. I will be announcing charity as well, and then some 24-hour events that Rohan's going to host, even though he doesn't know yet. And lots of nice and exciting announcements coming up. You can follow us on all of, if you're watching live or watching on YouTube or watching a replay, all of our links are right below, over here, over there somewhere. And if you're watching on the podcast, or if you're listening on a podcast platform, wow. All the links will be in the description. You can follow us there. You can follow me at hallucinodream. I'm not going to spell that. I'm going to go over this every week. It's a mouthful. Not spelling that. It'll be in the descriptions. You can follow Rohan at Rohan Bhangui. Oops, said that wrong. But
We'll just throw the link in the description.
links are going to be in the description. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask either of us any questions. You can, or One Punch in general. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week for the follow-up and the question and answer.
See you later, guys. Bye.